Welcome to Tableau Eminent, channel The Secrets of Stonehenge. A modern analysis on the windswept Salisbury Plain in southern England stands one of the world's most iconic and mysterious monuments, Stonehenge. Towering grey stones arranged in a near circle, weathered by time and legend, have fascinated visitors for generations. Thanks for watching. Request you to subscribe the channel, but far from being a simple collection of rocks, modern science has begun to unearth the deeper truths behind this ancient marvel. Truths that stretch back over 5,000 years and across hundreds of miles. The story of Stonehenge begins around 3000 BCE, when the first builders constructed a circular ditch and bank, known as a henge. Initially, the site held wooden posts, forming a sacred enclosure. But centuries later, these humble beginnings gave way to something far more ambitious. Massive stones, some weighing up to 25 tons, were raised into the formations we see today. The bluestones, oddly enough, were transported all the way from the Preseli Hills in Wales, over 150 miles away. How Neolithic people managed such a feat remains one of archaeology's most enduring puzzles. Some believe they used wooden rollers and sledges, others suggest they floated the stones on rafts along ancient riverways. What sets Stonehenge apart from other prehistoric sites is its precise alignment with the heavens. On the summer solstice, the rising sun aligns perfectly with the heel stone, casting light down the monument's central axis. This isn't coincidence, it's a testament to the builders' astronomical knowledge. They likely used this alignment to mark time, track the seasons, and plan agricultural cycles. Some researchers believe Stonehenge functioned as a vast solar calendar, with its stones marking lunar and solar events in a cycle that spanned the year. Yet Stonehenge was more than just a timekeeping device. Archaeological evidence suggests it was also a deeply spiritual place. The surrounding landscape is littered with burial mounds, cremated remains, and the bones of both humans and animals, indicating that rituals and ceremonies were a central part of life here. One compelling theory proposes that Stonehenge was a place of healing. The bluestones were long believed to have mystical properties, and many of the individuals buried near the site show signs of illness or injury. Perhaps people journeyed to Stonehenge in search of cures, viewing it as a sacred center of life and death. Others interpret the monument as a political or social symbol, constructed during a rare period of unity in prehistoric Britain, a vast communal effort that brought tribes together under a shared purpose. Technological advancements in the 21st century have revolutionized how we explore Stonehenge. Using ground-penetrating radar, lidar scanning, and digital modeling, archaeologists have detected underground structures never before seen. One of the most astonishing discoveries was made just a few miles from the main circle, Superhenge, a buried ring of stones at Durrington Walls, possibly even larger than Stonehenge itself. Together, these monuments suggest the area was once a vast ceremonial landscape, dotted with shrines, roads, and processional routes. The Secrets of Stonehenge, a modern analysis long before the Great Pyramids rose above the sands of Egypt, before the first alphabet was etched into clay, and before the Roman Empire cast its shadow over Europe, something extraordinary was taking shape on the windswept plains of southern England. On Salisbury Plain, an ancient people labored for generations to raise a monument that would mystify the world, Stonehenge. For centuries, the silent stones have stood like sentinels, resisting time and erosion, bearing witness to the march of civilizations. To the casual observer, Stonehenge may appear to be just a circle of stones, weathered, still, and hauntingly beautiful. But beneath the surface, both literally and metaphorically, lies a rich tapestry of history that modern science is only now beginning to unravel. The story begins over 5,000 years ago. Around 3000 BCE, Neolithic builders carved a wide circular ditch into the chalky soil, creating a sacred enclosure. Within it, they placed wooden posts, perhaps the first attempt to mark a sacred space. But it was only the beginning. Centuries later, something changed. Across rolling hills, from as far away as Wales, massive stones known as bluestones were quarried and dragged, somehow, over 150 miles to the site. These questions have puzzled researchers for decades. Theories abound about how the stones were transported. Some believe ancient engineers used wooden rollers and sledges, slowly inching the stones across the landscape. Others imagine a more aquatic route, with the stones floated on rafts through rivers and along the coast. However they came, the feat remains staggering. It speaks of an organized, determined society, one capable of collaboration, leadership, and vision. Once erected, the stones were not placed randomly. The arrangement is precise. On the morning of the summer solstice, the sun rises directly over the heel stone and shines into the heart of the circle. During the winter solstice, the sun sets in perfect alignment. This celestial choreography is no accident. The builders understood the rhythms of the heavens. They may have used Stonehenge to track the passage of time, guide agricultural cycles, or even connect with the divine. But Stonehenge wasn't merely a calendar. It was a place of power and emotion, a gathering site for ritual, celebration, and possibly mourning. Surrounding the monument are hundreds of burial mounds, filled with cremated remains and grave goods. Some individuals were buried with great care, suggesting high status. Nearby, at Durrington Walls, archaeologists uncovered the remains of what may have been a temporary city. Animal bones, pottery, and tools suggest great feasts were held there, perhaps seasonal pilgrimages where people came from all corners of the island to honor their ancestors or celebrate cosmic events. Some believe Stonehenge served as a temple of healing. The legends of the bluestones tell of magical properties, and many of the skeletons unearthed around the site show signs of illness, injury, or deformity. Could people have traveled to Stonehenge in hopes of a cure? The evidence, though not conclusive, is compelling. Others argue that the monument's grandeur reflects not healing, but unity. At a time when Britain was made up of scattered tribes and communities, Stonehenge may have been a unifying project, a shared vision brought to life by thousands working together over generations. As the sun rises each solstice and casts its golden light upon the ancient stones, one cannot help but feel a connection to those distant ancestors. We do not know their names, but we walk in the shadow of their vision. In Stonehenge, they left us a message, not in words, but in wonder.